Good afternoon to you all, Honorable Chief Guest Foreign Minister, distinguished guests, Principal, Vice Principal, teachers, parents, and all my fellow schoolmates. I am Dechen Zam Tshering, and most of you know me as Chicken Ruto, the formal school captain. Since Gele has already highlighted on the exceptional leaders in our country and how they have made Bhutan the way it is today, I thought of taking a different approach and I thought of talking about myself more. So, to begin, if I were to talk about my childhood, I was considered the perfect child. Most people would consider me perfect because they thought I did academically well, and they even knew that I was interested in arts like dancing, singing, and drawing. And I was treated very well. Many people liked me, but things started to change. When I reached middle school in December, because of puberty and the changes in my bodily hormones, I started to outgrow. Simply put, I became fat. And because of that, it might not sound as a big deal, but to me, I slowly started losing self-esteem in myself. And in the beginning, it was very simple. I was just not confident with the way I looked. But slowly, it consumed me. It made me overthink, and slowly I started losing confidence in everything. I did not like the way I walked, I did not like the way I spoke, I did not like my actions, I was worried of what I was thinking. And this funny thing was that I would get mad at myself for being sad, and then get frustrated again, all over. So it was a really weird phase in my life. But why am I mentioning this? Why am I talking about myself? It's because when we see someone in their limelight, when we see someone who is successful, we assume that they have not undergone any difficulties, they have not gone under any hardships. We believe that they were born the way they are. But it actually takes a lot of hardships and hard work to reach to a certain level of perfection. And although personally I have not struggled much, but what I realized and what I can vouch is that when you become the victim of your own mind, it is really worse. Even a little bit small problem becomes big, and even a small wound leaves a huge scar. But thankfully, after graduating class 10, things started to become better. I felt better emotionally and mentally, and because I think it was mainly because of the love I received from my parents, who are here today. My dad is recording me and my mom is just smiling. And because of the way they treated me with love and care, my family, my friends, my teachers, I started getting better. And I even sought refuge in Buddhism. Well, I'm culturally a Buddhist, but I did not really take the time and effort to understand the actual meaning of Buddhism. So to make myself better, I tried practicing the principles of mindfulness and meditation, and it helped me a lot to regain my broken self. And I became more bolder, more confident, and I became stronger. And if I was to ever live my life again, then I would surely choose the same path, because that made me who I am today. And I came to Mutithang in 2021, and it was like a new, fresh start for me. Mutithang plays a huge, huge role in shaping me to become the better version of myself. I remember the first day coming to school with my friend, Lemchuki. She may be down there. And both of us, we were quite confused of where we had to go and what we had to do. And then we were guided by a captain that time, and then we came to the assembly. And the captain and the teacher who spoke on the first day of school, they highlighted that Mutithang is a prestigious school. Mutithang focuses on the academics and the discipline of a student. But what astonished me more was that they highlighted that Mutithang focuses more on learning beyond the classroom. And today also you can see that on the banner, it says, education is beyond paper, pencil, and books. And I knew that I came to the right place. I was very, very happy. And I was so eager to try everything Mutithang had to offer me. And the first thing that came to me was student leadership. I always heard that Mutithang has a robust system of choosing student leaders, which included a very, very competent selection interview. And I tried for it, not expecting to become a captain or anything, but I just wanted to experience how an interview was. And strangely, the interview went quite well. And that is a story for another time. But after that, I got the opportunity to give a speech for student captain election. And that is how most of you know me as Chicken Ruto. But thanks to all of you who voted for me, I got the opportunity to serve as the school captain from mid-2021 to mid-2022. And this experience has been the best experience in my life. As a school leader, I had the opportunity to get a lot of different exposure and experiences, and I have learned a lot of things. But most importantly, I have become stronger. I have grown as a person, a student, and as a leader. And I owe it all to the generous people I have encountered in Mutithang. And the name itself suggests Land of the Pearls. People in Mutithang are really pearls, really, really precious pearls. And in the beginning, it was honestly very, very hard for me to balance my school captain work as well as my academics, since I am a science student and you know the amount of work you get. So it was very hard for me, but I could get adjusted to it due to the guidance provided by the principal herself, the vice principals, the teachers, and my fellow captains. And all my friends have always supported me as much as they could. And since as a leader you have to shoulder a lot of responsibility, it consumes much of your time. And especially because I have never been a captain before. I was not even a class captain, nor was I even a toilet captain, for example. And it was really hard and a very big deal for me to become a leader of a school of like about 1,200 students. So it was really hard in the beginning, but slowly, due to guidance and the support I got from my teachers and friends, I think we've come a far way. We made numerous mistakes, that's for sure, but that's how we learned. We managed to turn our mess into messages. We learned from the lessons and we kept on. And now I believe most of my friends here with the color on their necks, they have turned out as very capable and dependable. And I have actually learned quite a lot from being a student leader, but I just want to share three most important things I learned. That was communication, emotional intelligence, and integrity. First, communication. I've learned that communication is the key to people's relation. So if you want to be a leader and if you want to be able to touch people's heart, the first thing you need to become is a good communicator. In life, you meet a lot of different people, you meet a lot of different personalities. So in order to touch their hearts and then make them follow your leads, what you need to do is become a good communicator. The second thing I learned was the importance of emotional intelligence. As a kid, since I was loved by everyone, I was, flying high on cloud 9, so I wouldn't really care about anyone besides myself. But after becoming a school leader, I realized that it's very important to know about your surroundings, know how your friends and family are feeling, know what they're going through. And moreover, when you know about others, you know more about yourself and you learn a lot. The third important lesson I learned was doing each and every work you're assigned with integrity and sincerity. What I realized was, for now, I may just be leading about 1,000 students, but in the future, I may have to serve the country as a competent citizen, right? So in order to do that, I realized that whatever I needed to do, I had to do it with integrity and sincerity, because I realized that doing work with integrity and sincerity always leads to a good result. It always leads to a positive outcome. And I have a lot of other things I've learned, like I've got experience in public speaking. We got to meet a lot of great minds like Tasha Townsend from RICS, Tasha Kinga Tiri, who has a master's in leadership from Harvard. We even got to visit the National Assembly, and that also recently, the time when the Gelsum Bill was passed. So we have a lot of opportunity to learn about what is happening in our country and how great leaders are helping us in every way they can. Now, I have gotten this opportunity thanks to all of you who had voted for me. And I would like to thank all of you, each and every person I have encountered in Mutithang, because each and every person has taught me something very unique. For example, Ma'am Principal, she has always taught me to become an independent woman, a woman leader, and the most important thing she taught me was to have faith in Buddhism. So, to cite an example, it was this year, May 2nd, Teachers' Day celebration, and we had collected a few amount of money, and then we bought this big 3-tiered cake. And traditionally, we offer the first piece of the cake to the Chisham, right, to King Chisum. And my principal and I, we were cutting the cake together. And she was cutting this huge piece of cake, and I was like, smaller, ma'am, smaller. It won't be enough for all the teachers. But what ma'am said that time impacted me a lot. Ma'am principal said that whenever you offer anything to King Chisum, don't resist yourself, always be generous, offer as much as you can. And that hit me like a truck. I was very astonished and amazed by how strong and powerful my principal's faith in Buddhism was, and I aspired to be like her. What I learned from my fellow captains, especially Vinchakhandru, what I learned from you was about communication. He is a very friendly person. I'm sure most of you know him, and then he literally knows everyone out there. And what I learned from him is that networking and people's relations is very important, because you learn something different from every individual, and then you get more opportunities. What I learned from Ugingele, the previous speaker, was that you always have to work hard no matter what you do. You always have to give your 100%, and that also with your moral values, and if you are a religious person, religious values intact. What I learned from Dasel Yuto Legzin was that she's actually the SRC, and what I learned from her was to prioritize the things I needed to do. She's a very organized lady, and I learned to be organized and to manage my time accordingly to my priorities. She also taught me to keep boundaries between the things I needed to do and the things I did not need to do. And if I talk about all the captains out here, we have had our ups and we have had our downs, but we still made it work, and we still were very productive, I would say. And I would really want to thank all of you for always being supportive and very positive in whatever we did. And I really want to offer glory to the King Chisum, because King Chisum's blessing has always been with me, and King Chisum has always protected me from all the obstacles I've faced, so I want to offer glory to King Chisum. Lastly, I want to say that someone who has once completely lost her confidence is standing here, has become someone strong, and has even got the Student of the Year award, which is very unbelievable. So if someone as small as if I can do it, then all of you can do it. I may not sound like a motivational speaker, but I just hope that you get a little tiny bit motivated by the way I have conquered my own mind and the way I have become stronger as a person. Never lose hope. Just as how impermanent life is, you should all know that struggle and suffering is also impermanent. So I wish you all a very happy mental state and a successful life, a life where you're not afraid of failure, and a life where you will strive for your dreams. Thank you, and Tashibilet.